So I recently had the privilege of reading the book The American Dream by Jason Navallo, where he interviews 6 industry-leading professionals, most of them being entrepreneurs, and all of them being successful by monetary standards. In this review, I'm going to be discussing some traits, mindsets, and ideas they all had in common, so maybe we can share some of their success. I suggest checking this book out on Amazon. It reads super easy, even though it's in an interview format. So number 1, believe in the law of attraction. So I don't actually have a specific video on this, but after reading this book, it's definitely on my list. The law of attraction basically states that the more you focus on something, the more it will manifest in your life, by your brain filtering it better or looking for opportunities that encompass it. One interviewee said that they didn't necessarily believe in the law of attraction in a spiritual way, but that you had to believe that you had a realistic chance of something happening for it to actually happen. Moving on, there was also a focus on setting goals that you can control. So this is a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for a while now, because I found how important this is. Basically, you need to set goals that you can control. For a while, I used to set my goals on subscribers and view counts, but I don't do that anymore, mostly because I've learned how inconsistent you guys are. But really, I can't control if you watch the video or not. What I can control is the effort in the thumbnail, the quality of the video, and the frequency of my uploads. This little mindset can go a long way. And after seeing it implemented in a millionaire's life, I realized it was something to double down on and share with you guys. So the American dream used to be this idea for immigrants when America was developing, that they could leave their homeland and make it big over here in America. I'd say that this term has changed quite a bit over the years, but the basic idea is that after hard, genuine work, you can make a very nice living. Most people imagine a big family with a comfy home and never having to worry about food, but it really depends on where you come from. I think people who are from other countries, specifically less developed ones, or just people who have less things and freedom in general, are more appreciative. I think this in turn gives them the grit to take advantage of all the opportunities we have here in, well, not just America. What you do between Friday and Monday is a big example of this. Are you partying or hustling? I'll let you guess what these millionaires did. They also think that a lot of the ills of today's Western society is caused by governments giving people something they didn't earn. Now this comes a lot with the traditional American dream and the association that older generations have that if you didn't earn something, you don't deserve it. I would agree that a lot of the current generation is becoming entitled, but hard work will always be valuable, especially in today's world. I also want to say that everyone's version of the American dream is different. For some, it's owning nice cars and skyscrapers, but for others, it's just not worrying about where your next meal will come from. These people also made their health a priority. They all definitely held a large importance on their personal health. Ben, who has sold over $6 billion in home sales, says that he makes it a priority to hit the gym at least 3 times a week. Studies have shown that you can literally extend how long you live by exercising and weightlifting. Why not go an extra, say, 5 years with some gains along the way too? Health is extremely important when gaining wealth, since it's usually exponential, and the last 5 years of your life could be the biggest. Another idea that I caught on to was that they believe that success is not a zero-sum game. Your success must contribute to the success of other people, just like the win-win habit in Stephen Covey's book. All of these professionals in their field understand that the best way to win is to help someone else win. Ben made sure to note that the success of one person doesn't mean the diminished success of someone else. This is a super important concept, and I feel like it was worth noting in this video because it shows credibility. Also, they all mentioned that their ideas of success revolved around making a positive impact in other people's lives. This means that they have a big heart and a passion for helping others. It seems to be a recurring theme in some of the books that I've read that those who aim to help others and not to make money eventually end up making a ton of money anyways. Make your goal to help people first, and all other problems will be solved. So the next tip is that the greatest lesson is not to give up or give in prematurely. Ben said that his greatest lesson is not to give up too soon or prematurely. He says that perseverance in the face of disappointing news is difficult. It's super easy to just quit or blame someone else for your failure. These highly successful people did not do that. Remember, success is rarely achieved without perseverance. He also says that his favorite thing to do in his spare time is learn, which is our next big idea. Learn in your free time. Just as I have stated time and time again, the best thing you can ever invest in is yourself. And these self-made millionaires prove that. They all showed that they loved learning, specifically about newer stuff happening in their field. They stayed top-notch, even if that meant trying counterintuitive ideas or strange new techniques. They had an open mind and learned everything they could. Something else I noticed in these interviews was that all of these people had a very optimistic and extremely positive view of the world. If you take a look at Gary Vaynerchuk's blogs, you'll notice that he is the same way. It seems that to me. Specifically immigrants, or anyone who came from little, will have a high appreciation of stuff other people may take for granted. The freedom and opportunity in America is a great example. You have the freedom to party on a Saturday night, but you also have the opportunity to write a new song. Towards the end of our list, I have be humble and self-aware. A big idea I got from this book is to be okay with hiring people who know more about something than you do. You have to be humble enough to admit that someone else knows more about a specific topic than you do. You also have to be self-aware enough to understand where your shortcomings are and to fill these gaps with other people. Do this and you'll become highly successful in no time. I also noticed that the most common reason for business failure is lack of money, and the second is to think that you know too much. So obviously lack of capital is a big factor in most businesses, and I plan on teaching in future videos on ways to get funding. But having overconfidence in business can be your biggest downfall. Now this is a huge bias which can leave you blindsided, and one of the best ways to prevent overconfidence is to have a team that basically does the checks and balances on everyone else. Also, as many of you know and have probably figured out by now, I'm a huge fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. He's also really big on patience. I'll link a few videos in the description below if you want to watch if you're not catching my drift. Basically, you should be patient when you start your business and nothing happens. It took this channel 8 to 9 months before I earned enough to live off of. I still busted my butt pumping out videos, staying impatient in the building process, and didn't give up. I hope you guys really enjoyed this book review, and if you want to buy this book, check out the link in the description to buy it. I recommend it if you're interested in any of the fields that these highly successful people are in. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.